It's a process. I give it time and it give me back progress. Now I'm just trying to be honest and profit off of cutting through all the nonsense. Sick of the straw man, go all in, man, they can never stay on topic. Being dumb don't leave you with many options. Come on, let's be honest, bro, I leave them in shock. They just mad, I'm the cream of the crop.
What's up, guys? I'm Skullz, and today we're gonna be checking out Intention by Tool. So I'm just coming off of Rosetta Stone. I was very confused. And honestly, guys, coming off that song, I was a little bit like, is this the first Tool song that I'm not crazy about? And I actually stayed away from the song a little bit. But I was like, come on, dude. You listened to it, you kind of got an anxious reaction out of it. You probably weren't in the best frame of mind to be listening to it. Give it another shot. Tool has not let you down once. So I went back to it, I listened to it, and literally it was night and day. I just got so much more out of it. It's a wild ride. It's a wild trip. And like I was saying, I think Third Eye was a trip too, but almost a more pleasant trip. It was intense. It was kind of all over the place, but it's like Maynard got something good out of it. Rosetta Stone was like a bad trip. It was just intense, chaotic, crazy. Probably the craziness of being in the hospital and being taken by doctors and having all this stuff going on didn't help it. And the song just kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And the way the song ends, it's almost just like he passed out. Like, that's how I felt. It just ends really abruptly. But man, Tool really captured it. Even the vocals in the verses, it's like a million people talking all at once at you. And it's all fast forwarding. I would say definitely one of the most experimental tracks for Tool. And Tool is already a pretty experimental band. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update because that was a weird one for me. It was somehow weirder than Maynard's dick. Overall, this album has not been as cohesive as their other albums in terms of the track order and how they go into each other and how it all works as one piece of art. But I feel like a lot of these songs work better on their own. Like, don't try to put them together, just let them stand on their own feet. I feel like this album works a lot better with that perspective going in. But I'm gonna stop talking, we're gonna hop into this. But first, if you're new here, consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. Let's hop into Intention. Huh. Oh, man. The sound from Reflection. This is giving me very Disposition vibes. Rosetta Stone was very chaotic, crazy, and now we have a more relaxing and soothing thing going on, which I take it's going to lead into something probably a bit more crazy. We'll see. But I really liked the sound effects they had at the beginning. I couldn't really make out what it was. I don't know why. I'm getting like the imagery of an excavation site, digging up fossils, digging up things from the past. Great use of atmosphere. I do appreciate what they're doing since After the Pot. I mean, they've really created an atmosphere, and they're sort of telling a story with sounds and with atmosphere. It's definitely more experimental for them, and I appreciate the risk taking. Yeah, this is definitely Disposition Part 2. You got the congas going on, they have the harmonics going on, very meditative. I actually love this. So let me get into the lyrics. So verse 1, pure as we begin, pure as we come in, pure as we begin, move by will alone. Verse 2, pure as we begin, here we have a stone, gather, place and raise, so shelter turns to home. Okay, so the song is called Intention. He's talking about how we're pure at the beginning and how we're moved by will. Then he says, here we have a stone. A stone could represent a lot of things. And I think with the pot, he established that a stone is judgment. It's like casting the stone. Maybe it doesn't carry over, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it. And then when he says gather, place, and raise, so shelter turns to home. I mean, you could take that in the literal sense. He's gathering rocks and gathering supplies to build a home, a shelter. But let's go on to verse 3. Pure as we begin, here we have a stone. Throw to stay the stranger, swore to crush his bones. Yeah, so this is very primitive. Let's assume that this person he's talking about was never taught anything. They were just born, and what they decided to do was build a shelter for themselves. Now they have a home. What do you do with your home? You protect it. And then a stranger comes along, and you take that same stone they were talking about, and you throw it at them because you want them to leave. So it's almost like he's laying out how people are at their most basic fundamental levels. Then verse 4, spark becomes a flame, flame becomes a fire, light the way or warm this, home we occupy. You can stay in this home or you could go out. I don't know if he's saying you can go out and you could find this stranger and maybe make sure he doesn't come and get you. And then verse 5, spark becomes a flame, flame becomes a fire, forge a blade to slay the stranger, take whatever we desire. This is very reminiscent to Disgustipated in a way. I think there's just a healthier perception about human nature being demonstrated here. And that's demonstrated through the music, the tone of the song. It's much more accepting. Disgustipated was literally, I'm disgusted by myself. I'm disgusted by my fellow humans. It's not a healthy way to look at yourself. It's not a healthy way to look at the people around you. Something I am noticing about this album is there is a bit of an undertow vibe in this, in the sense of there is a bit more, I wouldn't say disgust, but real harshness towards humanity through this song, and especially through Vicarious. The pot also. And to come to think of it, even in 10,000 Days, because he was talking about how he didn't respect his siblings. I think since he's grieving, he's kind of taking a step backwards. In Lateralis, he was choosing to have a healthier outlook. And it seems like maybe the hardships of life and circumstances with his mother and everything, losing his mom, I think he's struggling to deal with it in the healthiest way. I mean, who wouldn't? This isn't me judging him for that. I think it's actually perfectly reasonable. I mean, it's not what we aspire to, but it's perfectly reasonable in the human condition that we would fall short of being everything we want to be at a very, very dark moment in our life. But it's something to note. Ooh, creepy. Wow. Oh my God, these sounds are amazing. I need a beer.
Few moments later.
That somehow brought me closer to a hallucinogenic experience than Rosetta Stone. I don't know how, but it did. But it was really spiritual at the end. It definitely spoke to something primal, something very fundamental within yourself. At least for me. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. It's just how I feel with the song. This whole album, well, at least the last half, has really been trippy as hell. Now I'm starting to see what people mean by this album's a bit more tribal. The first half, not even close. But this part, yeah. The only tribal parts for me in the first half were Wings of Marie and 10,000 Days. You know what? That's a big chunk of the album. You guys were right. So I missed some of the lyrics. So let me finish that up. So there was a final chorus. It was hidden by an ad on this website. All right, so the final chorus. Pure as we begin, move by will alone. Leave as we come in, pure as light, return to one. Move by will alone. Now that almost seems like the circle of life. He's saying leave as we come in, meaning like we're born and our parents go. They move on to the next life. And then he also said pure as light, return to one. And you know what? In Jambi, he was saying that he was divided. He was separated or severed, one of those words. He could be talking about himself and he could be talking about his mom. And he also could be talking about his son all at once. And you can look at that in a lot of different ways. I'm so glad I saw that before I went off. This is why I scrolled to the bottom. Really awesome song. But you know what? I almost feel like this would have been better after 10,000 days, because it almost feels like he's accepting the circle of life and that he's coming to peace with it and he's trying to be okay with it. But you know what? Maybe he needed the trip to help him realize that. So there's always that as well. I don't know. That's the thing about Tool albums is you gotta listen to it for a while to really understand it and see where the narrative's going. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But anyways, guys, that's where I'm gonna end the video. I appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with me. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and as always, I look forward to the next one. Peace.